Hey, Viking fans, I just got done talking live on the Liberty Line and Run It Back Philly. Both Eastwood and Steven tag teamed me, and I survived. Let's talk about what I found about the Philly Vikings game next in 3, 2, 1. Gather around, Skull brothers and sisters. This is Skull World, brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm your host, Dave. You can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at Skull World. Now, make sure you hit subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. I want to hear what you have to think. I will reply to your comments. I want to know what you got to say. That's what this show is all about. That's why I do it. Subscribe, like, and comment. I don't care if you're a Philly fan or a Packer fan. If you want to hear what I gotta say about your team, I'm here to say it. You can ask all the questions you want. I'll be glad to give you my opinion. Subscribe, like, and comment. Now let's get started. I talked to two guys, DJ Eastwood, great name, Run It Back Philly, and Steven over at the Liberty Line. Give those guys a check. They're good content. They don't post every day, but what they do post is good quality. I was glad to be on their show. One's got 15,000, another guy's 3,000 subscribers, so they're big time. I'm the newbie, so it was great to have them invite me on their show. So what I wanted to talk about is what I've been hearing from Philly podcasters, Philly YouTubers, talking about the Eagles and what they're worried about. They are not excited to play us. They're not excited to play us. And the main reason is because of what Detroit did to them. Detroit ran at will on them, and they're kind of worried about it. Because if Detroit was able to run on them with Swift, mind you, he's a good running back, and they got a good line. But we're even more worried about what they'll face against Dalvin Cook. Now, keep in mind, we got a good running offensive line. Like, we run block very well. So, they're expecting a lot more of that. Now, on the other hand of it, they think that the Detroit Lions defensive game plan kind of fit into what Jalen Hurts can do. And that is evade the pocket. They rushed him up the middle constantly, and he ran it outside, and he ended up getting 17 rushes for like 90 yards. And it was mainly because Philly got a good pass rush on him, but they weren't able to contain him. What I had told them is that I believe that's our key to the game, is keeping him in the pocket and in retaining like lane integrity, being very disciplined in that area. That's what we did against Rodgers. Rodgers tried to escape out the side, but he had to go around quite a bit. And what happened as a timing issue is that the Lions would jet through the middle. He'd immediately run to the outside before the end got any pressure. So that was a detriment to the Lions, and he was looking to run on every play. And the Philly guys agreed with me that Jalen Hurts right now in his career is a one read or run, first read or run, and that's the way he's playing. That's the way he was last year. That's the way he did this first game. You go back and look, and if you can go back and look, that's what he was. He was first read and run, and that is where their weakness is, and 100% their weakness. They said they also ran one of their top receivers on fly routes the whole game and didn't get a catch, and that maybe was the game plan to have like A.J. Brown get more catches. Now A.J. Brown is a big dude, a good player. There's comments about how he was the bigger than any of the defensive players. He is a strong-looking fella, very strong, very quick. He is not Justin Jefferson. And there was a play where they had two deep zone, and Jalen Hurts threw it to the cornerback, or threw it to his AJ Brown, but underthrew him. I told them that I think on that play, Cousins would have fitted in that wide gap. It was wide. He was wide open. Cousins would have been able to lead him, giving Justin Jefferson a running start at the safety, and miss and he's gone. And that's what AJ Brown could have did if he had a better throw to him. Unfortunately, Hurts underthrew him. He had to come back the ball. He hit the ground. They were able to make the stop. Sure, it was 15, 20 yards, but that was one of those games. That's one of those plays where the safety was 10 yards away, and Justin Jefferson catches it in stride. He can make moves and blow past that defensive back, and that's what they weren't able to do because Jalen Hurts isn't as established as a passer as Kirk Cousins. However, it is the key to this game is not let Jalen Hurts run for 90 yards. They got like 212 yards rushing, if I'm not mistaken. So their running back is not Dalvin Cook with the Eagles, and they got a lot of their yards off the run option, RPO, run pass option, or just run option, and the Eagles, who have a pretty good offensive line, both these guys have good offensive lines, basically wiped the entire Detroit defensive line away, to where when he handed the ball off, all he had to run straight ahead, because it completely, unbelievably wiped the Detroit defensive line several times, to where it was just, he was running in open space. There wasn't even a hole because there was nobody on the outside. He just ran straight ahead into this wide open space. And I don't think our defense is going to allow that. I don't think they'll allow that. I had made a prediction that we keep AJ Brown to 100 or less. We keep Jalen Hurts to 50 or less yards rushing, and we contain him in the pocket as much as possible. Because if he doesn't hit that first read, and he has no idea what the second read is, that he's going to be in that pocket way too long. It will collapse, and he'll get sacked. I also predict that we will cause turnovers again, and we'll be on the plus side of that scenario. So let's hope that happens. That's my prediction. So I've came away with talking to Philly podcasters and talking to just watching Philly podcasters. There's one very optimistic one, but most of them are worried that their defense isn't good enough, and they are clamoring to fire. In many cases, not all of them are, and you can go look it up about the writers are already wanting him fired. They may have wanted him fired in the offseason, but their defensive coordinator is not well thought of there, and they let 35 points go to the Detroit Lions. They gave up 370 yards offense too, but considering that Philly had a pick six, and then for some odd reason Detroit tried to onside it and lost, and got after a touchdown, and then lost that momentum because they went down and scored again. So they almost gifted them 14 points. So that means that the Detroit Lions didn't just give the Eagles 14 points. They could have won. And that scares the hell out of the Philly fans. They are not set because they don't think their defense is prepared enough. They think their offense is, pretty powerful, and I'm not going to disagree with them. I still think they're top 3 team in the NFC now, especially like a Dallas Cowboys they'll have 2 wins against them, no problem. And the fact that the Rams look like they're a little bit down, the Packers look like they're a little bit down. I just think the Bucks, us, and the Eagles right now are the 3 best teams in the NFC. So just looking forward to this game, this is a big difference maker on who's going to get home field advantage in the playoffs, even this early. If we got the tiebreaker, that's like almost being a game ahead of them, right? So right now we got a tiebreaker against the Packers. We beat the Eagles, we'll get a tiebreaker against them. We need to stack these wins. These Eagle fans are not excited about their team, and if they're not excited and they see that their defensive players are probably not excited about what went down against the Lions. And in fact, I don't think their head coach is too excited about how they had to rely on their defense to score a touchdown for them to get a victory. But hey, it's Jalen Hurts is fun to watch. They got a great running game. AJ Brown, they got stars. We have better players and offensive players than they do, and we got I think we got better defensive philosophy than they do. We are 2-point underdogs going into here, and I think it's because of where we're playing, and the book's still not completely out on us because they're not giving us enough credit of what happened against the Packers, mainly because they're missing their number one receiver in both their tackles. So they probably think that we lucked out with that. But hey, we didn't play a single snap in preseason with the starters, and it didn't show because we looked awesome. We a lot less penalties than they were last year. The Eagles had 10 this last game. I think we're a more disciplined team. I really think we have the momentum going in this game, and they're like, oh God, we just hung on to win. That is an awesome feeling going into Monday night, and I believe that Cousins has won his last 2 Monday night games. I think he was like 0-9, and now he's 2-9. So hey, he might be over the hump there. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. I can be wrong. I know I can be wrong all the time. But hey, I'm not wrong about. If you go look at my prediction show, I wasn't wrong that much this last game. In fact, we beat them by 16. I said 13, but I thought it'd be a higher scoring game. But hey, I'll take it. I'll take the bigger point victory, bigger point differential. I love that. All right, that's it for today. This is Skull World, brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm your host, Dave. You can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook. Hey, check me out, man. Stick with me. I'm growing for you guys. Let's that sounded weird, but hey, let's get this going. Let's keep the Skull dream alive. Let's win a Super Bowl. Let's do it all together. I'm loving this Vikings team. I will say it over and over again. This is the best roster we've had since 1998. I'm not lying. I said this before the first game. I'm saying it after the first game. Let's just do this. Skull Vikings. See you next time. Cue the music. Thank you, Viking fans, for listening. Make sure you catch my other episodes. Also, make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Skull Vikes.